You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. I'll start with you again. You have these two bills. Senator Tim Scott, he's been, complaining that Democrats would not meet with him, would not even speak, on the issue. They were going back and forth. And in fact, he, if I can pull it up here, he released his video a little bit earlier today complaining about the Justice Act in terms of what did not happen. And he, in putting this video out, there's this video he called Two with Tim. And he says that Democrats were putting politics before anything else. Play this video.
Meaningful police reform forward. Why is that important? It's not important for Republicans or Democrats, frankly. It's important for kids growing up in the same situation that I found myself growing up in several years ago. I wanted to say to people that we're listening, we're seeing you. We hear your concerns. We had a chance to pass really bipartisan legislation. The House priorities and my priorities align pretty well. I offered 5 amendments to their first set of requests. Then they said they wanted more, so I offered 20 more amendments and a manager's amendment. Now, what's a manager's amendment? It's a boring term for whatever you want to add in, let's do it. The problem was they weren't looking for the what. They were looking at the who. The challenge.
But here's the deal, though. He stated, Greg, on the outset that qualified immunity was simply off the table. Democrats get rid of it in their bill. That's one of the big sticking points.
Sure it is. Respect to Senator Scott, who is doing what those who voted for him sent him to do. Tim Scott is a member of the White Nationalist Party. We should stop equating skin color with politics. So Kevin McCarthy can, go along with his other rather rabid friends like Collins from Georgia and Jim Jordan from Ohio over to the hillbilly horde. Tim Scott is being a good soldier. Mitch McConnell can count. No matter how many of those amendments might have been offered, with his kind of aw shucks, affable social media ploy, he knew that they would be voted down in the United States Senate. So it's really irrelevant. Now, I've been watching on and off the debates today, beginning with Jerry Nadler and then Jim Jordan back and forth. And, it's very interesting because the amendments that the GOP continues to get up and say they offered that were rejected include the death penalty for those adding a death penalty rider to the anti-lynching bill. In other words, these are poison pills, no qualified immunity, among other things. These are poison pills. And so it was very interesting finally to see the chairwoman of the Congressional Black Caucus, Sister Bass, get up and say, she's hopeful because this is going to pass the House. Whatever happens in the Senate, there will ultimately be a resolution and a reckoning. And then she was followed by Barbara Lee, who said something very similar, although Barbara Lee wiped off the microphone and you could hear the live mic. So Karen Bass is like, she's serious about that, isn't she? Damn right she is, because we're in a pandemic. But Tim Scott will have to speak to posterity. And right now he's coming up really small as the blackface on the party of white nationalism.
The thing here, Reese, when you look at really what's going on here, first of all, you always are going to have different versions in the House and the Senate. So there's a thing called committee. So typically what happens is after a bill passes in the House and then another bill passes in the Senate, then they have a conference committee, then they get together and work those different things out. The reality is people have been arguing. The people in the streets, they were arguing, look, in order for this thing to work, there are things you're going to have to get rid of. And that is 3 things: qualified immunity, chokeholds, no-knock warrants. Democrats are saying if those three things are not in the bill, we're not supporting it. Tim Scott, right. I hear all those he's saying. He addresses 2 of those. No-knock warrants, chokehold, does not address qualified immunity.
But the way he addresses it is still very much like, well, it leaves so many gaping holes in it that it doesn't even have any teeth to it. And so I think that what the Democrats are doing for a change is actually standing their ground, which is appropriate, and not allowing the Republicans to just say, we fixed it, time to go home, and nothing is actually fixed. Then The Democrats are the ones who get blamed, by the way, when they vote for something and it doesn't have the intended impact. The Republicans don't get blamed. Their supporters go and cheer them on and say, yeah, look at you, you compromised and this, that, and the other. And so I think that what they're doing right now, if Tim Scott and if the Republicans are serious about policing reform, which we know that they're not, then they need to get on board with the Justice and Policing Act. That's the bill that's going to pass in the House. And so that's the bill that needs to pass in the Senate. And the Democrats have to stick with it. If you don't have a solution this time, then you don't have a solution. But the stuff that's being put forth by Tim Scott is not anything more than a PR campaign, not a solution.
So, look, here's the thing that cracks me up. Erica. And look, politics is all a part of this. If you're on the Democratic side, you see momentum. You see polling with Joe Biden. You see the fact that 4 seats, all Democrats need are 4 seats to take over the United States Senate. The calculus is, why would I take qualified immunity off the table now when I wait 4 months? I can actually get a much bigger bill if we control the House, the Senate, and the White House.
Absolutely, Roland. And then this is where paying attention to the courts comes in, because all the while that this is happening, the Senate actually confirmed the 200th Trump judge. Corey Wilson was confirmed this week. And so the wind is on the back of the Democrats. And so when we look at that number you're talking about, 4, they actually only need 3. As long as Democrats take the White House, then whoever that vice president is actually functions as the president of the Senate. And so this is where people need to be actually paying attention to what's happening. We have 35 senators whose seats are up this year. We also have, looking at this time as well, a period with which folks are not standing down. We've had people that have been in the streets a month this week, and people are actually paying attention and connecting the dots that all politics is local, and that there are things that can be done on the local level that will eventually affect what we see happening at the federal level. And so as we continue to kind of like see these antics that are coming out from Tim Scott, if folks just continue to keep the focus on what is happening, continue to vote, continue to make sure that their voices are heard, we will see a turnaround come November. Leave the polling alone. We do understand that polling is saying that right now Biden is up by double digits, but forget the polling.
Right.
Continue to vote. Continue to stay committed to your state and presidential primaries, and make sure have a voting plan to come out in November and kick Trump out.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, fam, the folks at Seek.com, founded by Mary Spiel, a sister, of course. She is the inventor, the creator of these devices, this virtual reality headset right here. You saw it in the video there. And also these 360-degree 4D headphones. You can actually get these with a discount because they partner with us at Roland Martin Unfiltered. Right here, here's the code, RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020. First of all, folks, the headsets are phenomenal. The headphones are absolutely phenomenal. And, of course, the VR headset is great because you just pop your phone, put it into the device, and you can actually see video in virtual reality. So it's real cool. Go to Seek.com, Seek.com, CEEK.com, and use the promo code RMVIP2020.